If a woman hugs you, it means this. And you have no idea. What seems like just a casual gesture can actually reveal much more about her feelings for you. But here's the thing, women rarely talk openly about what a hug really means. So how can you tell when it's just friendship and when there's something more behind it? The answer lies in the small signs that almost no one notices. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to decode female hugs and understand what they say about how she sees you. Pay close attention until the end, because these details can completely change the game for you. Is a hug just a hug? Not always. Many men don't pay attention to details that can reveal a lot about what a woman feels. And a hug is one of those subtle signs that, when interpreted correctly, can tell you a lot. For most guys, a hug might seem simple, just a greeting. But the truth is, for us women, this gesture can carry emotions that go far beyond friendship. Has a woman ever hugged you a little tighter or longer, and you weren't sure if it meant something? Well, you're not alone. Sometimes a firmer or prolonged hug can be a discreet way of showing interest, affection, or even attraction. But if it's quick and distant, it might just be politeness. The secret here is knowing how to differentiate these moments so you don't miss opportunities. Body language speaks louder than words, and women know exactly how to use it. If she rests her head on your shoulder, lets out a subtle sigh, or squeezes your back in the middle of the hug, you can be sure she's trying to create a deeper connection. But if you just hug her back without noticing these signs, you might be missing a chance to take the relationship to the next level. If you want to become a more confident and attractive guy, you need to learn how to interpret these nuances. Many women won't directly say they're interested, but they'll show it through small gestures, like a hug with more intention. What does this hug really mean? Picture this: a woman you already know hugs you in a different way, closer, tighter. You feel the intensity of her touch. Notice that she holds your back a little longer than usual, but you're not sure if it's just a friendly gesture or a sign of something more. Have you ever experienced this? If so, know that you're not the only one. Many guys feel uncertain because they don't know how to interpret these moments. And the truth is, every detail matters. The duration of the hug, the way she touches you. Even her breathing in that moment can be valuable clues. Sometimes, a simple hug says more than any words. It's just a matter of paying attention to understand. What really makes a hug special isn't just the touch, but what happens before and after it. If she takes a little longer to let go, if her hands slide down your back, or if her face stays close to yours, you can bet there's more than just friendship happening. Women don't usually give intense hugs to just anyone, unless there's an emotional or physical connection involved. Now that you know this, start paying attention to how women hug you. Small gestures that once went unnoticed can give you a whole new perspective on how they really feel about you. After all, hug can have so many meanings. Imagine what each type of hug might be trying to tell you. Types of hugs and their secret meanings. Not all hugs are the same. Some are just formal, others carry a hidden interest, and some reveal a deeper emotional connection. If you learn to notice the right details, you'll realize that a hug can say much more than words. The secret is in the small gestures, the intensity, the duration, and even her posture during the moment. All of this can indicate what she really feels for you. If the hug is quick, without firm contact, it's probably just a social gesture. You know that half-hearted hug we give coworkers or acquaintances? Yeah, it rarely means anything more. But if she hugs you more tightly, pressing her body against yours, that already shows a greater level of closeness. This type of hug indicates comfort and trust, and could even be a subtle way of showing attraction. Another detail that many men overlook is hand movement. If she slides her fingers down your back while hugging you, that could be a sign that she wants to extend the moment, as if she wants to feel you for longer. And if she rests her head on your shoulder and lets out a sigh, that goes beyond a simple gesture of affection. It's a clear sign that she feels safe and connected to you. The way the hug ends also says a lot. If she lets go slowly and keeps her eyes on you, you can bet there's something more going on. But if she quickly pulls away and shifts focus to something else, there's probably no romantic intention. Her body is always speaking, and now you know what to pay attention to. The hug and the psychology of attraction touch has a huge impact on the human mind. When a woman hugs you, her body responds involuntarily by releasing oxytocin, the famous bonding hormone. This hormone creates a sense of closeness and well-being, making her feel more connected to you. Depending on the intensity of the hug, this can strengthen the attraction she already feels, or even spark a new interest. The context of the hug also completely changes its meaning. If she hugs you after an emotional conversation, it could be a sign of trust and deep connection. On the other hand, if it's a more spontaneous and playful hug, it shows that she feels comfortable around you and wants to build a connection. Naturally, it all depends on the moment and the energy between you. Another important factor is how often she seeks this kind of contact. If a woman hugs you frequently, it means that, to her, being close to you is something enjoyable. The human brain tends to repeat experiences that bring pleasure and comfort, and the physical habit of hugging you might be a reflection of that. Often, she doesn't even realize she's doing it so much, but her body is already giving it away. The key here is to observe patterns. If her hugs start lasting longer, happening more often, or coming with other signs, you can be sure there's something more. Small gestures say a lot, and when a hug starts carrying more meaning, it might be the sign you need to take the next step. When a hug is a silent request for attention, and you didn't even notice. A hug isn't always just a hug. Sometimes, it's a silent sign that she wants something more, whether it's security, affection, or even a step forward in the relationship. Touch is one of the most natural ways to express feelings, and many women use it to communicate emotions, without having to put them into words. If you don't pay attention, you might end up ignoring an important moment and even frustrating her without realizing it. If she hugs you suddenly, without an apparent reason, it could be her way of testing your reaction. This gesture becomes even more meaningful when it happens in moments of silence or after a lingering look. In these situations, she might be waiting for you to respond, whether with a closer touch or even a gesture that makes your feelings clear. Small details like these can be disguised invitations to a deeper connection. Another moment when a hug might have special meaning is when she's feeling insecure or emotionally vulnerable. Some women seek physical contact as a way to find support and protection, and a simple hug can be a silent request for comfort. Knowing how to differentiate a casual gesture from a hug full of intention can completely change the way you interact with her. The right response makes all the difference. If you feel that her hug has a more intimate tone, don't pull away too quickly. Hold the contact a little longer and observe her reaction. If she feels comfortable and responds positively, it's a clear sign that there's something there. Sometimes you don't need to say anything. A simple gesture can strengthen the connection between you. The best way to respond to her hug, the way you react to a hug, can completely change the way a woman perceives you. If you respond with confidence and presence, you create an instant connection. But if you react in a cold or hesitant way, you might end up sending the wrong message. The key is to feel the moment and react with the right energy, whether to reinforce closeness or set boundaries. If the hug is longer and closer, don't waste the chance to build a stronger connection. A gentle squeeze on her back, a subtle touch on the nape of her neck, or even a deeper look before letting go can completely shift the dynamic between you. On the other hand, if the gesture is quick and distant, respect her space and avoid forcing a more intense interaction. The mistake many men make is not adjusting their response to the context, which can lead to discomfort. Body language also plays a huge role. A look before or after the hug can make it clear that you noticed the gesture and are present in the moment. If she takes a little longer to let go, holding the contact for just an extra second can show reciprocity and strengthen the bond between you. When applied correctly, these small details create a strong emotional impact and leave a lasting impression on her mind. Now, if the hug was purely friendly and you don't want to create any expectations, keeping the interaction light is the best approach. A smile at the end, a casual comment, something that shows you understand the situation without adding pressure. Demonstrating social intelligence and knowing how to respond appropriately to the moment is a quality that many women admire. In the end, the way you handle these small gestures can determine whether the connection between you deepens or just becomes another forgotten moment. What now? What to do? If the hug indicates interest, if a woman hugs you intensely and you pick up on signs of attraction, the worst thing you can do is hesitate or show insecurity. Many men recognize the moment but let the opportunity slip away because they don't know how to react. Confidence is what determines whether this connection will move forward or remain in the realm of uncertainty. If her gesture shows mutual interest, your response should reflect clarity and initiative. If she lingers in the hug and looks at you differently as she pulls away, that's your cue to take the interaction further. A smile filled with intent, a spontaneous comment, or even a subtle touch on her arm during the conversation can maintain the chemistry without being too direct. Creating a natural transition from the hug to the dialogue prevents the moment from fading and keeps the tension in the air in an engaging way. But be careful. Just because she showed interest doesn't mean you should rush things. Some women like to test a man's energy before giving even clearer signals. Maintaining a composed attitude without rushing can actually increase attraction. Showing that you noticed her gesture, but without forcing anything, creates a safe space for her to keep investing in the connection. The biggest difference between a man who sparks desire and one who goes unnoticed is how he reads and responds to these moments. If a hug suggests something more, it's up to you to lead the situation in the right way. Demonstrating natural confidence, just the right amount of intensity and emotional control, will make her realize she's in the presence of a self-assured man, and that's one of the most powerful triggers for attraction. Now that you know how to interpret hugs and respond the right way, it's time to keep learning. So don't leave just yet. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new content. And since you're already here, go ahead and watch the next video on the screen. You'll discover insights that can completely change the way women see you. Don't miss this opportunity!